They've always been near the top of the table. The last few years, they've had to settle for second best behind Renegades. But certainly one of the stronger teams. And there is a lot of experience and quality, proven quality in their squad tonight. But when I spoke to John Berklow earlier today, he said he's happy to have this really tough test early on for his young squad, because this is what's going to help them see what they're doing right and where they need to make some fixes. Nothing is a better teacher than adversity. And Coach Berklow also said that Met Oval are going to look to try and play a heavy possession game, draw teams in and then play out their press. We have our expected starting lineup for Met Oval. Alex Morania is going to be in goal. He's at Marist College. In front of him is going to be a back three. Alex Posada. On the right side is going to be Bagnato. On the left side is going to be Arujo. Two midfielders in front of them. It's going to be Kazza and Iriarte. The wing backs will be Nelson Reynoso, who will be on the right side. Reynoso is an incoming freshman at St. John's. Carlos Villa on the left wing side. He's an incoming freshman at Queen's. And then the front three, we're going to have Chris Sullivan on the right side. Balthazar Saunders at centre forwards. And Andreas Di Blasio, who's come off of a fine season at Boston University, where he started 15, scored 4, and helped them along the way to a regular season championship in the Patriot League. So, positionally, the formation will go between 3-4-3 and 5, and also then a 5-2-3. Well, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly with the kickoff. Hello everyone, welcome back to Met Oval Field. And we've got a lively local crowd for Met Oval. But I tell you what, they are in for a tough test tonight against this Braveheart side. We've just got the starting 11. Luis Hurtado, very experienced, sharp shot stopper in goal. In front of him is going to be Godwin Partey and William Quintero. Diarra on the left side. Sean Chaco at right back. Bolaños is going to be sitting in the number 6. Steven Fernandez playing alongside Daniel Bedoya. In front of him in centre midfield. Miguel Gonzalez on the left wing. Lenworth Lopez on the right. And Harry Cook, who of course we've seen a lot with the Pan-Cyprian Freedoms as well over the past season. He will be leading the line. He's a lethal goal scorer. Well, the start of a new era for Met Oval, fielding their men's team for the first time in 12 years, and the start perhaps of a new era for US soccer. Very curious to see how the League for Clubs develops. This is, of course, its inaugural season. They've got quite a sizable collection of clubs signed up for this season. We do see a lot of organisations come and go in US soccer, but this certainly has a bold vision behind it. A sustainable league is what they're pitching to clubs. That really works for them in the long run. It's been founded by clubs. Why not give it a go? It's going to be very interesting to see how this summer goes for the league and beyond that. And we want to thank our Game and Frame sponsor, South Athletic, who have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag 10% off if you scan the QR code. And Met Oval would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, who are the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. Mention Met Oval for 5% off on your next visit. And also Positive Sports Therapy, who where champions, where champions, can't even read my own handwriting, where champions get their end pain and get their life back. Mention Met Oval for 15% off on your next visit. Well, it's a fitting venue for the opener of a new era for both these clubs. They're of course playing at Met Oval's home ground, which is one of the oldest continuous soccer fields in the country. Built in the 1920s, used to be a rocky sandlot called the Dust Bowl, and reportedly used to be that a member of staff would have to drive over the turf in an old Ford, dragging a mattress to scrape the rocks off. Now, thankfully, things have moved on a bit here, and also, of course, in US soccer. These young boys from Met Oval don't know how good they've got it. We've got a beautiful turf field here now, and it is an absolutely perfect evening for soccer. Sitting about 65 degrees. I've got to say, the first half of May was quite unpleasant. It was a little chilly, a little wet. but the second half has been refreshingly cool. I think we're going to have a decent atmosphere with some of the local lads. I should mention, guys, as well, we might get 1 or 2 cellular drops here. It is one of the toughest fields in New York, even though we have AT&T and Verizon, everything we possibly can. It's anyone who comes down to this field knows you're generally getting 1 or 2 cell bars at best. So if we do lose connection, just bear with us. We'll be right up, but hopefully we can keep it stable the whole night. Just waiting for the day that every grassroots soccer field gets their Ethernet cable installed in it. Or maybe Mr. Musk will put up enough Starlink satellites so we can start to go on that.
Do I go run?
And Harris Rashid will be officiating tonight. Good. But this is about as strong as a starting lineup as Braveheart could field. There's maybe 1 or 2 starters, no Jack Sloyd tonight, but it is an absolutely stacked squad. They are not messing about for the beginning of the leagues. They still, of course, are in the middle of a UPSL season. They lost narrowly to their rivals Renegades on Sunday night, a late Sebastian Ruiz penalty, but they're still very much in the title. Keith, UPSL comes down to the postseason playoffs and trying to make it to the Nationals. But a very similar group from to their UPSL squad is now going to take on this new endeavour. Immediately, just look at the players. There's a huge size difference between these Met Oval boys, because some of them are, 17, 18, and this Braveheart side. But let's see if that deters them. This is the cream of the crop of MLS Next talent here for Met Oval, and one of the pillar academies in American soccer, taking on a team of seasoned semi-pro players. Let's see how it pans out. Here's Daniel Bedoya. And Lenworth Lopez with his first touch. Bedoya again. Whipped in. Be kept in by Rahujo, who clears the lines. Here's Partey. Now we'll go all the way back to Alex Morania. Bagnato. Driving it forwards. There's quite a tight pitch at Met Oval. In terms of length, it's got some decent length, but it's narrow. Going to be a very high-tempo game. Iriarte judged to have taken the last touch on that ball. Bedoya. Lopez. Reynoso a little too enthusiastic in the tackle. And that is taken quickly. Brought down well by Gonzalez. Steven Fernandez. Diarra gets it back from Bedoya. Lopez. Bolaños. Bedoya. Gonzalez. And Lopez. And a brilliant tackle. That brings out a roar of applause from the Met Oval faithful. Nelson Reynoso timing it to perfection. He had to get it just right in the penalty area. And the first corner kick of the evening. Braveheart starting certainly on the front foot. Bedoya will deliver. Swings towards the near post, partially cleared out. Lopez retrieves for Braveheart. And hoops clear, I believe, by Carlos Villa. Quintero. Partey. Bedoya. It's a good tackle on him by Chris Sullivan. Well played out by the pressure by Met Oval. Now worked up to Saunders, who just lost his bearing, but Met Oval squeezing hard to win it back. Arauja. And Iriarty giving it to Bagnato. This game has started at frenetic tempo. A huge part of the Met Oval philosophy, and indeed Coach Bucklow said this is going to be the approach for this Met Oval team tonight. It's just possession-based. This academy produces great technicians, players who will not panic under pressure, who can spin away, can keep their head up, and if you squeeze them too hard, you're liable to have them play out the press. Hurtado with a wonderful ball up to Lenworth Lopez. Bagnato tracking back. Lopez. Diarra. He's going to drive down to the byline, sends it across, partially cleared. Stephen Fernandez and Harry Cook, and a superb save by Morania. How many times has Harry Cook finished from there? He is lethal in that area. It's his natural habitat, but Morania a match with a sprawling stop. Another corner kick for Braveheart, who really unlocked Met Oval's defence there. All started with Luis Hurtado with a super bit of distribution. Bedoya to conjure up again, and there's quite a height advantage for Braveheart in there, particularly with Lopez. It swept towards the penalty spot. It was Partey who met it, but he couldn't keep it down. This first 5 minutes is anything to go by. I think we're in for a lively night, ladies and gentlemen. Ariate. Araujo. Pasqua. Aruja. Back into Casa. Carlos Villa. That's a decent ball towards Saunders. Quintero reading the danger, getting it back from Hurtado, and I think it was Carlos Villa who had ventured forward. Felt like he should have had the corner. Harris Rashid didn't agree. Partey. Searching long. Miguel Gonzalez gallops after it. Super ball by Godwin Partey. Gonzalez, who looks like a very tricky customer, but he's well marshalled. Aruja. Kazarim, excuse me, who is one of the current academy players in the starting 11 tonight. Driven crossfield by Bognato, sublime pass. Andres de Blasio, he'll get his first run here at Partey. He floats it in, and it was a perilous moment for Moussa Diarra, who had to get something on it. Chris Sullivan was waiting behind him, and he wasn't too far away from putting that the wrong side of his crossbar. Very awkward height as he tried to clear it. And Metovo will get their first corner kick. It's going to be an in-swing, and that's a dangerous ball. Hurtado with the punch. And Harry Cook clears the lines for Braveheart. Passada. Ball ran away from him, but he managed to keep it just alive for Metovo, who maintained the possession. But then that's very loose by Metovo. Braveheart will look to punish Lenworth Lopez. Bedoya. And Gonzalez. And an opener for Braveheart. It's an own goal. Bagnato at the far post felt like he had to get something on it. He wasn't sure it was behind him. And from that distance, he couldn't help but put it into his own net. Braveheart, who have had more of these opening 10 minutes, strike first. The vision by Bedoya unlocking Miguel Gonzalez, and his teasing cross was just inviting a touch. Unfortunately, from that oval perspective, it's one of their own players who applied the finish. And that all started by just losing it in a slightly dangerous position there from Met Oval. Driven crossfield. Saunders is onside. He's got a couple of white shirts in the penalty area. Saunders towards that far post. Carlos Villa will keep it in. Kaza. Let's fly! That wasn't far over the crossbar. Not far at all. And it had Hurtado scampering to his front post. And one factor to consider tonight, I'm not sure how prominent this will be, but Braveheart at the moment, just 3 subs, and as I mentioned, they had a big game against their rivals Renegades on Sunday night. Not a lot of recovery time, so just wonder if we might see some fatigue for these players as the game progresses. It's going to be an out-swinging corner this time for Met Oval. Braveheart leaving actually 2 up on the halfway line, Bedoya and Harry Cook, interestingly enough. Ball is swung out, and it was met cleanly by Balthazar Saunders, but the big striker just couldn't keep it down. Got a really good connection on the header. Actually, excuse me, it was Andres de Blasio, excuse me, not the number 7, the number 17. Got really good purchase on that ball, but couldn't get over it. Hurtado to Diarra. It was a bit of a hospital ball, truth to be told, but Diarra's done very well to play out of it. Harry Cook held up, and he rather cannily bought himself a free kick there off Nelson Reynoso. Daniel Bedoya clatters it off of Kaza. Hurtado, it's a flat ball forwards by him, and that's one of his real specialties. Hurtado is that just driven flat ball, but extremely accurate. Sullivan's able to turn, and he finds Nelson Reynoso, who whips it in. What a ball that is! Equaliser for Medoval. A peach of a cross by Nelson Reynoso. And applying the finish, Balthazar Saunders with precision. And look at the fans and what it means to them. Met Oval off and underway in the league for clubs. It's a really well taken finish by Saunders, but an even better cross by Reynoso. Just hang on a second, down the other end. Can't take your eye off this for a second. Gonzalez very nearly burying it straight off the kickoff. Caught that really well. And Met Oval went for the high press right off the kickoff, and they are at times playing a high line, and early on at least it's leaving them quite vulnerable to these extremely accurate balls over the top that Braveheart are capable of serving up. All of their midfield and even their backline are just capable of these precision passes. Sullivan. Met Oval are really starting to find their foot into this contest. De Blasio gets it back. De Blasio, and it's another corner kick for Met Oval. It's going to be another outswinger towards that far post, and again, De Blasio not far away from it. They're going for that same spot. Diarra's going to try and shield this out under close attention by Sullivan. He did well there, Diarra. And Hurtado is going to take the goal kick quickly. Harry Cook with a little shove in the back of Reynoso. Bagnato. Ariarte plays it around the corner well. Posada. Morenia. Well, of the first 15 or so minutes of this League of Clubs campaign, is there anything to go by? I would certainly watch plenty more of this. It's been a pulsating start to the game. Braveheart mostly dominating the first 10 or so minutes, got their goal, but Met Oval have started to really settle into the game, and these young players are now going toe-to-toe with some of the strongest semi-pro players in the New York area. Here's Sullivan. Reynoso. Cleared out by Quintero, who wasn't taking any chances. Saunders. Posada. Ariarte. Floats it diagonally. Diarra with the leap. And Lenworth Lopez will bring it out. Clever pass by him. Bedoya. And Diarra just hammers it clear. Brought down on a penny by Posada, but that wasn't a great ball out by the centre-back. Fernandez. Bolaños. And there was a tug on his shirt, no doubt about that. That'll be a free kick for Braveheart. Daniel Bedoya scanning and finding Lenworth Lopez. He floats it in. Cleared out. Araujo. Catch that. Catch that again. And perhaps the frantic pace of the game just starting to settle a little bit. Braveheart not playing a massively high press on Met Oval when they have it in the back line. Perhaps just figuring out that these Met Oval boys are more than capable of playing out the press. Saunders. He's searching towards Reynoso. That's an interesting ball. Reynoso and tussling away with Diarra, and that should be a corner kick, and it is. Reynoso really, for a second, looked like he'd snuck in behind Diarra. The left back recovered well. Nearly reverse of the goal. Saunders setting up Reynoso this time rather than the other way around. Another corner kick here for Met Oval. Swung in, lots of pace on it. Saunders just went a little early, and now Braveheart are going to look to go on the break. Really well snuffed out by Kazat, who got his body in the way of Miguel Gonzalez. I think that's the only way to stop him, because Gonzalez has got quite a burst of acceleration on him. He was not going to keep up with him, Castro, I think, in a running race. Diarra. Got two on him. Lopez supporting him, but Met Oval containing that side well. Saunders looking to help it on to Casqua. He got impeded, and it'll be a free kick to Met Oval. And guys, reminder, Met Oval sponsors are La Casita Mexicana, who are the best Mexican restaurant north of the border, and they are offering Met Oval 5% off your next visit, and also Posture Sports Therapy, where champions and pain get their life back. The champions end pain and get their life back. And if you mention Met Oval at Posture Sports Therapy, you're going to get 15% off. I should really pay them a visit. I'm trying to revive my 7-a-side career. It'd be nice if I could manage 20 minutes. Not quite playing at the level of intensity of the gentleman on the field tonight. Once you're on the wrong side of 30, it becomes a struggle. Here's Saunders searching for De Blasio. Keeps it in. Searching ball, not enough height on it. And good composure by Bolaños. Bedoya. Cut out by Araujo. Bagnato drives it cross-field. Oh, it's a super ball, but De Blasio slightly offside. Quintero playing with fire a little bit there, but Partey helping him out. And it's ended up being a throw for Braveheart midway inside Met Oval's half. Daniel Bedoya. Bagnato fizzes it in to Sullivan, who does really well, plays around the corner. Reynoso searching cross-field again. No one had quite made that run. Had Quintero sweating it. And then a brilliantly timed tackle by Araujo. And it, in fact, stayed in. Here's De Blasio onto his right foot. That shaved the crossbar. Well, it looked as if the ball was heading out from that tackle. I believe actually that might have been Carlos Villa who took the effort. Really well caught. Slightly too much height on it. A little bit of miscommunication and hesitation between Posada and Reynoso. Posada had to take evasive manoeuvres. You don't want to hesitate when Lenworth Lopez is on your shoulder. Braveheart will get a corner kick in front of the Vocal Met Oval local supporter section. And we've got some brilliant instruments and everything. It's good atmosphere down here. Bedoya will swing this in. Everyone back for Met Oval. Oh, that looked interesting. I wonder which part of the body that touched. Braveheart asking for the hand. Couldn't see clearly from here, but looked like it might have come off the side. And Harsh Rashid is saying it did hit the hand, but the hand was in a natural position. I think, at least from my view, I couldn't see if it hit the hand or not, but I could see the hand did look by the side. So, as we just lost camera feed very briefly. That ball is worked back to Morania. Ariate. Sullivan gets it back. That's clever. Sullivan can drive at the heart of Braveheart's defence. That's a superb tackle by Bolaños. He was very nearly coming in behind Sullivan there, but he got the ball entirely, timed it to perfection. Sean Chaco. Corner, a little bit of a pocket there. Gets a throw in. Helped around the corner. Diarra. Very nice, so cutting out the pass to Lenworth Lopez. He hurls it in. Big header by Bagnato. And that should be a foul. The referee is going to let advantage be played. Bolaños got absolutely cleaned out there. Lenworth Lopez. Fernandez. Bedoya. Bolaños making himself back to his feet gingerly. There'll be a throw-in for Braveheart. There's a snapshot not too far away by Daniel Bedoya. Didn't quite get the bend on the strike. Play back to Morania, who was under a lot of pressure, didn't show it, but Good press by Braveheart. Then with Lopez. There's been another corner kick for Braveheart. They're having a good spell here, the visitors. Daniel Bedoya towards the near post. Iriarte wasn't exactly sure who or what was behind him. And Bedoya will get another chance to loft the ball into the penalty area. Bent in, partially cleared. Bolaños. Blocked by Saunders. Bedoya. And unfortunately for Braveheart, came off the heels of Gonzalez. So he tried to get it into his path. Bagnato, who unfortunately will go down in history as Met Oval's first scorer in the league for clubs, just at the wrong end. But really nothing much he could have done about it. Going back. Who's coming through? Hurtado. Jumping on the ball. And then it's the other end. Gonzalez cutting back onto his left, and it's, I think it was perhaps a cross, perhaps a shot. Floated back in. That's going to be an easy grab from Morania. Danny Bedoya will go all the way back to Luis Hurtado. And Braveheart, I think, a little bemused not to get that throw in. Kaza. Bagnato. Reynoso. They are just closing it out. Diving header by Reynoso and driven up by Diarra. They'll go out for a Met Oval throw-in. Rashida making sure the throw-in taken at the correct spot. Posada. De Blasio dropping deep. Carlos Villa. It's well worked by Metoval. Sullivan. Reynoso. Partey there to clear it out at the near post. Some interchange by Metoval, but cut out. And Steven Fernandez. We'll give it to Sean Shacko. Fernandez working it with Enworth Lopez. He's switched sides with Gonzalez for now. Lopez. Not really cleared by Braveheart. So good press by Metoval. Reynoso. That sweet right foot searching for a target again. But that time the cross too close to Hurtado, who, true to style, is going to look immediately for Harry Cook. Posada dealing with it well. Ariarte. Searching ball, a lovely ball by Bagnato. Reynoso. Swung in by Saunders straight at Hurtado. Metoval finding some gaps his last 2 minutes in the Braveheart defence. Reynoso looking for a foul. The referee is going to allow play to go on. Araujo. It's played down the channel. Carlos Villa. Kaza. Ariarte. Calmly played out by Metoval, but then a little bit loose by Ariarte. See it for De Blasio. Bolaños. Give and go with Bedoya. Harry Cook's got a little space on the right side. Checks back. And drills it cross field. Miguel Gonzalez can have a go at Reynoso. Gonzalez. It's a good tackle by Reynoso. He's having an excellent game so far. The incoming freshman for St John's. Looks like they might have got themselves quite an addition to the squad. Harry Cook went down. And Harris Rashid unmoved. De Blasio. Lovely bit of aerial play by Metoval. Saunders. Tried to outfox Partey, but Quintero covering his centre-back partner. Now we're taking that quickly, and they're going to get a free kick in prime position, right on the corner of the penalty area. First yellow card of the night. We're not sure if that's been issued to Bolaños or perhaps Wilson Quintero. Two co-conspirators standing over the ball for Metoval. Imagine most likely it's going to be Andreas De Blasio. At least they're going to go on target and they're going to go for a shot with the right foot. It is De Blasio, but it's a couple of feet over the crossbar. Never really troubling Luis Hurtado. Big head. Baruja. Out around the corner by Saunders. And worked into Sullivan. The angle was right, but the pace in the ball slightly too heavy. Saunders. Closely policed by two Braveheart defenders. Steven Fernandez. Couldn't escape from Ariate. Reynoso looking down the channel, but not the right pass. Throwing back to Luis Hurtado. A little awkward for the goalkeeper. He lost his footing. He touched that with a hand. Matt Oval howling for something. Play continues. Lenworth Lopez. It's going to be very controversial Braveheart score, but Lopez had run that out. Well, absolutely no doubt there that Luis Hurtado touched that with the hand. It's just interpretation about whether, well, I'm not sure what the interpretation is, a natural body position or not. Looked to me like should have been blown up for an indirect free kick. Bolaños. Baruja putting it out. Bedoya. If you're just joining us, both goals coming in the first 15 minutes. Inside the first 10, Gonzalez forced an own goal from Matt Oval, but the hosts quickly fought back. Saunders finishing off of a beautiful Nelson Reynoso ball. Kaza. Villa. That's a good ball, but de Blasio is offside. That looked very tight indeed. And de Blasio goes into the book. The rules have clamped down a bit now on dissent towards referees. New guidelines at the start of the year by US Soccer. It is a big problem with in the soccer scene in general with referees quitting, and new guidelines that clamp down on dissent. I think are designed to help prevent so many refs quitting. Ariate. Give and go with Villa. And Villa going down from contact by Bolaños. Aruja. Kaza. Bagnato. Calmly done by Sullivan. Carlos Villa. Crossfield ball towards Nelson Reynoso. His first touch showed a little bit too much to Diarra. It's been an interesting duel between those two in this first half. That's brilliant by Bedoya. And here comes Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez! Oh, he's hit the post. Harry Cook over the crossbar. He was offside anyway. What an effort by Gonzalez. That would have been a sensational goal. Bedoya with a bicycle kick to set him on his way. And from there, as the Miguel Gonzalez showed beautiful footwork, had his defender on skates, and he caught that so cleanly. Alex Morania, a spectator, and a very relieved one at that, to see it clatter off the post. Kaza. Saunders. Ariate. Sullivan. Very nice, so checked his run. Going back to Hurtado. Tiara asking a lot again of his goalkeeper. Kaza. Ariate. Turning really well out of the pressure. Posada. Calm as well. Pass via. De Blasio. Sullivan. Oh, the first touch just slightly too heavy. I think there's absolutely no doubt there's more goals in this game. That came off of a hand there. Uja. Riate. Kaza all the way back to Rania, who opts to go long. Saunders chasing that down like a steam train, and here's De Blasio. He helps it in. It's Saunders! 2-1 Met Oval! A brace for both Hazard Saunders! Jubilation for Met Oval! They're going to have to hire some stewards down here. The young fans having a rather premature pitch invasion. Well, Hazard Saunders has lit the touch paper to the match. And right before half time, Met Oval turned the game around. Just brilliant press by Met Oval to turn that ball over. And they were absolutely ruthless with their sight at goal. Braveheart starting the half the stronger. Met Oval, it appears, finishing it in the ascendancy. Unless, here's Miguel Gonzalez. And that's going to be a goal kick there. Well, I imagine Coach John Burklow is absolutely delighted over what he's seen from his team in this first half. They have played the possession game. He told me earlier today he wanted them to play. They've played it with confidence. Under a very heavy press, they've played some beautiful stuff. And they've taken their chances when it counted. And also at the other end, they've conceded a few chances, but not many. And they are leading against New York Braveheart, one of the strongest pre-professional sides in the area. All right, so first half that's kept us on the edge of our seat from start to finish. Let's hope the second is a match. Don't go now, guys. We'll be back shortly.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my back in. It's an essential part of my fit for soccer, and keep all my stuff nice and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to Met Oval. Right before the half-time whistle, Hazard Saunders completing a turnaround for Met Oval after they trailed early in the game, and Saunders with the brace took both his chances very well. But a lot of football still left to play, and Braveheart will count themselves unfortunate not to have found a second. Couple of decent chances they had. Close of all was when Miguel Gonzalez rattled the post just a few minutes before Met Oval got their second. Looks to me like both teams are unchanged going into the second half. Met Oval have got quite a stacked bench. Saunders, the man who's turned this game on its head for Met Oval, kicks us off for this second half. And something, again, I think that's really going to be interesting to factor in is how are the legs for Braveheart tonight? Because again, they had the game on a Sunday evening against New York Renegades. And this is a more seasoned squad, let's say, than Met Oval, who are all late teens, early 20s. And training on that regular academy schedule. Reynoso is excellent in the first half, tussling with Gonzalez. Bagnato. Kaza. Really well played out again by Met Oval. Sullivan, exhibition stuff. Beautiful football, and it's unlocked Braveheart's defence. Carlos Villa has gone down, and it was an excellent tackle by Bolaños. And to be fair, Villa not really making much of a appeal, so I think that was just a very well-timed tackle by Bolaños, but he does look like he's come off a bit worse for wear from the tackle. What a stunning bit of football by Met Oval there to break Braveheart's lines, to break and go over Braveheart's lines. Sean Chaco. Heavy touch by Lenworth Lopez. Kaza. Kaza again. Wasn't quite aware of where Gonzalez was. Put Bagnato in some hot water. Posada forced to clear it. Lopez hurls it into Steven Fernandez. Lopez. Good tracking back by De Blasio. Uriarte. Reynoso. Arauja. Kaza. Arauja. Gets it again. Posada. A vocal crowd at the Dust Bowl continuing to make their presence felt. Searching ball by Uriarte. Sullivan was galloping forwards. Lopez pops it up. Danny Bedoya is going to search towards Harry Cook, who's clean through. Harry Cook, surely! Yes! Braveheart, back level. The poacher Harry Cook. Sneaking behind the back line. There's an inch perfect ball to him. And he sat Morania down and putted it into an empty net. 2-2. perfect start to the second half for New York Braveheart. Ball just had slightly too much pace for Posada, who committed, ended up on the ground, and that gave Harry Cook the time to take on Morania. Gonzalez, Cook, and he's been hauled down by Ariarte. Free kick was taken by Cook into Ariarte, I think, to try and get him booked, and then Harris Rashid just said, well, play on. Lost by Bedoya, and then lost by Ariarte. Quintero with the tackle. Fernandez. Lopez. Bedoya. Fernandez almost coming away with that. Bedoya didn't get enough legs behind that crossfield ball. Reynoso surging onto it, gets it back, and the counter-attack might be on here for Met Oval. Nelson Reynoso asking a little bit too much of Saunders. Gonzalez, a jink of the hips, and he's away, and he's searching towards Harry Cook again. It's a sitter by the Englishman. Big, big chance. And for a goal scorer of his quality, you would expect him to hit the back of the net every single time. Gonzalez absolutely shredding Bagnato down that far side. It's an end-to-end start to this second half, much as the first began. Ariarte. Villa. Saunders. Asking too much there, I think, of Villa, and it will go out for a goal kick. Guys, a reminder, Game in a Frame is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who are offering our viewers an exclusive 10% discount off the air case, which blocks smell for cleat bags and shin pads, magnetically sealed bag. If you scan the QR code and add an air case to your cart, you'll get that 10% discount off. Thank you to Salt for supporting Game of Frame in the 24-25 season. Floated towards Fernandez, Harry Cook helping it on. I have to say, I thought Met Oval started the second half the stronger of the two teams, the opening few minutes, but that goal by Harry Cook has really swung things back towards Braveheart. Since then, Harry Cook with that big miss right after he had equalised. And Bedoya is going to whip it in. Interesting looking ball, but Met Oval able to clear the lines. Reynoso will clear the lines. And it's really well dealt with by Partey. Sean Chaco. Back to Hurtado. Combative win by Posada. And there's a little nudge in the back of Ariarte. Bagnato. Kazat, he was clipped on the heels by Bedoya, and Met Oval are going to take, well, they're going to try and take the free kick quickly. Harris Rashid not letting them. And this is going to be sent into the box by Saunders. Dealt with comfortably by Braveheart. Posada. Kaza. Floating out wide. And that's certainly going to be a free kick for Met Oval, right on the edge of the penalty area. Met Oval feeling like it might have been on the other side of the line. It's a yellow card for Diarra. Well, actually, let's just see what's he given. He might have given a... Oh no, for a second I thought like Carlos Villa was ambling towards the penalty spot. But it's going to be a free kick right on the corner of the penalty area. Again, it's Saunders and Reynoso over the ball. 5 white shirts to aim for in the penalty area. Saunders goes on frame, got a decent amount of power in it, but straight at Hurtado. Angle was certainly against Saunders. And Hash Rashid calling it back. I'm not sure what exactly for. I'm not sure if he felt De Blasio had impeded Hurtado as he cleared it. That's a little bit loose by Partey. But fortunately for him, Reynoso couldn't get it under his spell. But then turned over again for Met Oval. Hammered out by Diarra. Kaza. Saunders. He was stretching for that ball, heavy with his touch. Daniel Bedoya. Neither David Ramirez or John Bucklow have made a substitution yet. So we move towards the hour mark in this frenetically paced contest. Araujo working the back to Moreno, who wasn't very convincing with the pass out. Here's Miguel Gonzalez, who lets fly, took a wicked deflection. That could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Moreno, ended up going well wide of his right post. It will be a corner, but Hash Rashid is just going back to a check on Andy Kaza. I'm not sure what happened there, if there was a collision, but Luis Hurtado checking he's okay as well. I'm just wondering if maybe he got a knock on the head, perhaps. Well, guys, I take this opportunity to remind you that Met Oval would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. You can mention Met Oval for 5% off your next visit, and also Positive Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their life back. And if you mention Met Oval, you'll get 15% off your next visit. So Kaz is going to go off, and I'm just wondering whether this will be the first change here. It looks like someone is stripped down for Met Oval, and Kaz has been excellent tonight, authoritative in the midfield, and one of the younger players on the field. He's definitely got a very bright future, but I think that's the end of his night. Coach Bucklow's got someone stripped down. Yeah, and that is the end of Kaza's night. And as soon as we get a look at the number of the newcomer, we'll let you know who's come on. But some defending here for Met Oval. Bedoya whipped in, and Harry Cook got the jump on everyone. Very hard for him to redirect from that angle, with the way he was running, the angle he was running to redirect on frame, but he very nearly managed it. Giacomo Manna who is the youngest player in either squad this evening. 17 years old, he's come on in the centre of the park, wearing the bright yellow boots, and here is the young man with his first touch. Slightly too high for him. And Coach Ramirez is going to make his changes too. Sean Chaco will make way, and Elenworth Lopez, the veteran. Well, as we move into the final 30 minutes, the game hangs on a knife edge. Both sides have led. And that is played back to Morena, who didn't take any chances. Quintera's got to be careful, and he was. Hurtado. And I believe it's Killian Heaney who's come on the right side for Braveheart. Araujo searching towards that far post. Hurtado was flapping. Sullivan couldn't thread it through all the dark blue shirts in the penalty area. That ball cannoned off by Nato off of Gonzalez, and here's Gonzalez getting it back from Cook. He's got options with him, but it wasn't the right cross. Morena able to gather. Saunders. Blasio helping it back. Reynoso. Attack just pieces out on that far side. Nova looking for a free kick. They will get the throw in. Just one sub left on the bench for Braveheart. And it's Nicolas Cifuentes Diaz on at right back for Braveheart. Sullivan inviting Reynoso forwards. Tried to buy a corner off of Diarra, who wasn't having any of it. Mana gets possession back for Metovo, and there's space here for De Blasio. De Blasio saved by Hurtado. Ball was straight at him. De Blasio was aiming for that far post. It's whipped back in, and that took the slice of touch off Partey, which put off Saunders, who was waiting to apply the finish. Here's Saunders again. Saunders cannoned off of Bolaños. Well, Hazard Saunders has been absolutely lethal tonight, and he certainly looks like he has got a hat-trick goal in him. Posada. Araujo. Posada. Lost a little bit too much there of Mana, won by Stephen Fernandez. He's looking towards Harry Cook. There's a tussle between him and Posada, and Posada has lost it. But then won it back again. Posada did really well in that touch with Harry Cook. He was right on the borderline there of holding him down, but he just kept his contact within the law and prevented another chance for Cook. Coach Bucklow's got all of his bench other than his substitute goalkeeper, Ballerini, warming up now. Imagine more changes are imminent. Reynoso. Reynoso's going to hurl it forced towards De Blasio, who is prowling inside the penalty area. That ball has gone over the fence, and a lucky local has got themselves a match ball. Good hold-up play by Saunders. Aruja into De Blasio. He's going to look to test Diaz here. De Blasio driving forwards. De Blasio, it just ran away from him, but he was taking on defenders in 2s and 3s there, De Blasio. Bullish run. Heaney able to keep possession. Daniel Bedoya has got some space temporarily, but the big man De Blasio with a fairy footsteps to creep up on him. Clever touch there by Sullivan, and he receives it again here. Sullivan, his first touch wasn't quite good enough. Bolaños, there's a space for Heaney to run into. Harry Cook in the middle, and Heaney was struggling to keep that ball in, didn't do a lot with the cross, but here's a chance for Bedoya. Cook was trying to set that for Gonzalez, and Reynoso's done well there to get a throw in for Met Oval. Or just try and predict what the final score is going to be. It is such a close game between these two sides. Both certainly look like they have another goal in them. Mana. Posada. Well played out of the press by Met Oval. Villa. Worked out to Reynoso. Sullivan slips it through. Villa! Met Oval lead again! Carlos Villa in front of the home section. A wonderfully worked Met Oval move. They cut through Braveheart's defence like a hot knife through butter. And Carlos Villa, with ice in his veins, slotting it in. Met Oval lead for a second time tonight. Can they hold on to it this time? And Villa started all the way on the left side at that move. He reset it, passed it back, and then he made the diagonal run in behind the defence. Brilliant movement, brilliant football. Bedoya's going to look to go for a long-range shot. And if you have been watching Game of Frame recently, you would have seen that on Sunday we saw Gianna Paul for the Long Island Rough Riders score from the halfway line. We're airing all the USL games on Sports Engine, have to with the league rules there, unfortunately. But if you haven't seen that goal, check it out on our Instagram. You won't see many like it, I'll tell you that. Ball hit the back of the net, I believe, 4 seconds into the second half. But here, Met Oval leading again. Heaney jinking and turning, but that cross, a tame one. Well played out by Iriarte. Sullivan, who had a big hand in that goal, a lovely slotted through ball. And Saunders, who was on a hat-trick. Maybe the first touch he's got wrong tonight. He was in. If that first touch was right, he was in. Gonzalez, ball ran away from him. Game is really going to be open, I think. In these last 20 minutes, Braveheart have got to push forwards in search for an equaliser. And I think the legs are tiring all round. But Chris Sullivan, he's run his late race. And it's been a good one. Michael Oliveri has replaced him. It looks like a straight switch. He's going to be on the right wing. I spent a lot of time praising Met Oval for the way they possess the ball, their cutting edge. But I think overall, defensively, they've been really strong as well. Again, when you consider the players that they are facing, Harry Cook is a really top level college striker. And he's backed up by a squad of really experienced, high-quality semi-pro players. Met Oval have contained them more often than not. Oliveri was a little bit too enthusiastic as he chased up on that ball. Searching ball, Harry Cook brought it down, but Bagnato stuck to him closely. Diarra. Gonzalez. Policed well by Reynoso. Gonzalez. Stood on the ball. Brilliant tackle by the 17-year-old Manor, who's showing no nerves. An angle there by Iriarte was right on the pass, but just a little bit too much on it for the gallivanting Andreas de Blasio. Bolaños, it's one back by Iriarte. Saunders, the man on hat-trick, he gives it instead to Oliveri. Towards the far post, the offside flag is going to deny Met Oval what might have been the clincher. And Hurtado's immediately played there, and I'm not sure Danny Bedoya will thank him for that. Managed to get himself a free kick. Harry Cook flicks it on, and the flag will go up against Diaz. Braveheart frustrated that the flag went up, but Harris Rashid judging there was a impediment before that, so Braveheart will get a free kick in a decent shooting position. Met Oval are going to make another substitution. I think they're going to wait actually until this free kick is taken. What can Bedoya conjure up this time? Bedoya certainly looks like he's shaping up for a cross, but not entirely out of the realm of possibility. It might go directly on target. Morania's trying to protect that right side of his goal, but there's certainly a gap there. Bedoya towards the far post. Partey met it, but not cleanly. And Metover will now make their substitution. De Blasio will make way. And it looks as if Oliveri is now on the left wing. And it's Enriquez, who is another very young player tonight, 18 years old. He's come onto the right wing. Bolaños. Ariarte. Partey able to retrieve the ball, and that was a clumsy tackle by Reynoso, who I think is going to go into the book here, and can't have too many complaints about that. Carlos Villa has given Metovo the lead here as we move into the final 15 minutes. It's been a pulsating opening game of the season. Is there another chapter to be written? Here's a man who certainly could write it, Gonzalez. Well, that's the commentator's curse right there. Worst kick he's had all night. Oh, he's so unfortunate in the first half when he hit the post. He's got a constant frenetic energy about him. Miguel Gonzalez just turns and goes straight at defenders. Gets them on their heels. Olivieri. Lost. And it's going to fall to Harry Cook. He wasn't on the same wavelength as Gonzalez. Bagnato, direct up to Saunders. Partey with a commanding header. Ariarte, who's turned over so many balls in this second half. That's really well done, though, by Partey, skipping through the tackles. And he's found Steven Fernandez, who can hit them. But that was not well caught at all by Fernandez. Mana. Reynoso, look at that, see you later. Left Yara for dead, but too much on the pass for Saunders. Looks like Will Baker has stripped down and will be introduced imminently for Metovo. I'm not sure that Braveheart necessarily have another outfield sub on the bench. I know some of their squad arrived a little bit late. That's a super tackle by Oliveri. Ariarte. Too much on it for Hernandez. Daniel Bedoya. Quintero. Fernandez. Sharp football by Braveheart, but well read by Aruja. And that was a rather cheap offside from Braveheart. Look at that from Met Oval. Beautiful football, and Hernandez can turn. And Braveheart are a little short at the back for now. Here's Carlos Villa, teasing ball. And it's a penalty for Met Oval. And Harris Rashid's got a big decision to make with the colour of the card. It's a yellow. Michael Olivieri hauled down as he looked to apply the finishing touch. Villa again at the heart of the action for Met Oval, and they have the chance now to surely put this game to bed with 10 minutes remaining. The man who won it, Michael Olivieri, will take it's a huge moment in the game. Olivieri, what are his nerves made of? Hurtado saves! Oh, he's one of the best penalty shot stoppers out there, Hurtado. We've seen him do it so many times, and he waited until Olivieri made his move. It wasn't a brilliant penalty, not far enough in the corner, and Hurtado has kept Braveheart in this one. Swung in by Saunders, a big head out. Villa hooks it back in, and the flag will go up against Reynoso. Olivieri's just got to put that behind him. Steven Fernandez, super crossfield ball, but Gonzalez's first touch not good enough. Reynoso. Olivieri is in behind. That was another really tight offside call. It looked like he had sprung the offside trap, and Olivieri's going to go in the boot. That's very silly from him. Met Oval are going to make a triple change here. Well, Saunders won't get his chance at a hat-trick. He's going to be withdrawn. Posada as well, and Reynoso. Well, taking out three of the key players in the performance tonight. It looks as if Bagnato's now gone to the centre of the back three. Centre forwards Sebastian Curti from Met Oval now. We'll just get our bearings with the other ones as soon as we can. Owen Joyce appears at right centre back now, or might be right wing back. I think Joyce is right centre back, and Will Baker is at right wing back. Gonzalez, teasing footwork, floating it in. Steven Fernandez at the other side. Villa blocking it. Fernandez back into the mixer. That was an important header by Bagnato. Harry Cook was waiting behind him. Whipped in, big punch out by Morania. Bolaños having a little tug there, and that was a very soft free kick. He's going to go in the book for kicking that ball away. Well, I'm amazed he hasn't gone in the book. Right, no, he has. Final 5 minutes here at Met Oval. The hosts at the moment set for a ground-breaking winning return to men's football. But a lot can change in 5 minutes of football. And I imagine we're going to probably get an additional 4 or 5 of stoppages too with some of the delays. There's a little shove in the back of Bolaños. Harry Cook. So we're dealing with it. Mana. Hernandez. Uriarte. Choice back to Bagnato. Even now, Met Oval happy to possess the ball. Here's Villa at the moment on course to be the match winner. The ball just stayed in. Oliveri keeping it alive well. Villa. He sets it back. And there's surely the clincher. Hernandez seals a historic victory for one of America's most historic clubs. It's a winning return to men's football for Met Oval. Carlos Villa, the architect again. And Henry Hernandez, a super sub. He didn't snatch the chance. He got good contact and passed into that near post. No chance for Hurtado. And all of Met Oval's goals, indeed all the goals tonight, have been taken really well. And surely now it's too steep a mountain in too little time for Braveheart to climb. And they are crashing into back-to-back defeats. It's not been a happy 2 days for them. Renegades on Sunday, which has surrendered the lead at the top of the UPSL Northeast table, and now against Met Oval in the opener of the league for clubs. Nearly took a ball right to our camera there. Recently upgraded camera, I'll add. Just one of the many perils of streaming at a pitch side rather than up in stadiums. But the positive is you're right here, thick in the action. Villa tweaking something there. Mana is going to let that ball run out for a goal kick, and Villa, I think, just landed heavily. He's cramping. And guys, as we have these final few minutes, let me just remind you what we've got coming up on Game of Frame the next few days. Lots of USL 2 action. Now, again, all of USL 2 has to be aired on Sports Engine. We'll be posting those links on Instagram, but also you can find these games. We're going to be live streaming the Staten Island Monarchs home games, Ironbound, and the Rough Riders, of course. And on Wednesday night, you're going to have Staten Island Monarchs against Cedar Stars Rush, 7 p.m. live from Wagner Stadium. Then the Rough Riders, the Metropolitan Division champions who won on Sunday, will take on Manhattan Soccer Club at 7 p.m. That could well be a tighter battle. Manhattan Soccer Club normally near the top of the table too. Then more action on Saturday and Sunday. Ironbound against Hudson Valley Hammers, and Staten Island Monarchs against Morris Elite. Again, you can find that on Sports Engine. It will be a quieter weekend this coming weekend because of Memorial Day. Streamed 19 games last weekend. The 2 weekends after Memorial Day will be very busy indeed. As here comes Met Oval looking to cause more mischief and rub salt in the wound. Well read by Diarra. And good tackle by Curti. Diarra. There's a lot of space at the far post, and that was a decent chance for Heaney. Didn't catch it cleanly. Not the easiest on the bounce, but he'll be disappointed he couldn't make more of it. As we tick in towards stoppage time. Braveheart could score right now. Would make for a hair-raising stoppage time. Headed clear. Partey. That's poor. And Met Oval can surge forwards. It wasn't a good pass. Chance wasted. One back by Met Oval. Baker. Again, Met Oval uncharacteristically sloppy in possession. Bolaños. Gonzalez, and there's a little clip on the heels. Joyce running across him. Braveheart have had a lot of set pieces in good positions. Yet to capitalise on one. Gonzalez is cramping, can't blame him. He is streaked up and down that left side. And again, I think he played a decent amount, or indeed maybe all against Renegades on Sunday. So it's approaching 180 minutes of football in 2 days. Daniel Bedoya will take it once again. He's taken all the set pieces this evening for Braveheart. Met Oval have been a match for them thus far. Bedoya swings it towards the near post. Good chance for Killian Heaney. He got under it. And I think I just heard from Harris Rashid. Unfortunately, we don't have a fourth official ball, but I think I heard we've got 3 minutes of playing time to go. Oliveri is just going to look to run some time off the clock. He's got the job done. Corner kick for Met Oval. Well, what a test it has been for this young side. But they have passed it with flying colours. Oliveri pokes it back. Manna! What a story that would be if the 17-year-old put the cherry on top. But he was just stretching as he struck it and he leaned back. And it went well over the crossbar. Oliveri doing really well there. And Fernandez is in a little bit of a cul-de-sac. Oliveri not giving up on it. But Fernandez escaping with it. And a lovely roll by him. And then Fernandez got tugged. He gets the foul, but he came through afterwards. On Hernandez. But it's a stunning achievement for Met Oval. This is, again, an under-23 squad. You know, 19, 18, 20-year-olds, and they have pulled off a victory against Braveheart's senior squad. It's a stunning start to the League of Clubs for Met Oval. A stunning return to men's football for the club. And it's a jubilant night for all of these young fans who have been given so much to cheer about. Braveheart took the lead early on after a very positive start, but Met Oval quickly levelled it, and then Saunders doubled his tally right before half time to give Met Oval the lead. Harry Cook levelled it up right after the interval and very nearly re-established the lead for Braveheart. Missed a good chance. But then Met Oval ran away with it. Carlos Villa finishing a glorious move before he set up the substitute Hernandez to put the icing on the cake. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Don't go now, guys. We're going to get some post-match interviews with Coach John Bucklow and probably some members of the Met Oval squad. We'll be right back.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up. I keep driving my cleats in my shingle so I know that they're together. Don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game and Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personal